these bears for many years to come. Lucky Bear, who has stepped off the three-sided box, which is our scale, by the way. It's a fun place for our bears to go to. There is a trough at the front of the scale that actually Lucky had his dinner served to him on. That trough, we usually put snacks on it, and our bears know to stand on that, and once they get their 4 paws on the scale, we're able to read their weight on the inside of the building. As I said, Lucky came to us in July of '07. He's lucky to be here and to avoid euthanasia, and we feel lucky to have him. When he came here at 20 pounds, he was a fun cub to work with, and now he's a 430-pound male. So he's put on about 410 pounds, and he's a handsome fella. He's a quiet bear. He doesn't vocalize a lot. He does some, but not a lot. And he's a kind of fun bear to watch in the pond if he takes a dip in the pond. He's a yoga master, at least that's what I think he is, and he can be really kind of silly at times, at least that's what I interpret some of his antics, as he just reminds me of just being silly. Holly Bear, she's a little different bear. She's a 3-year-old female from Arkansas, and she's a little bit different than Lucky. She's quite vocal, especially when she doesn't get her way, and she can be a little feisty once in a while. Lucky not so much. Holly, as again, has a little different personality. All of our bears have different personalities, and not all 2 bears are alike. Holly, coming from Arkansas, was separated from her mother, as I said, during a wildfire, and a fella picked her up, and she stayed in his home a little bit too long, and obviously could not be rehabilitated as well. We heard about Holly's situation in December of 2013, and we said we would be interested in taking her for a forever home. So she came to us in December of 2013 during the holiday season, which is how she gets her name, and she's also named after the holly berry, which is a wild bear food. Now both of these bears have finished their dinner, and Lucky has finished all of his, and I believe Holly has as well, and they're getting a few snacks thrown out by the folks down below here, our intern and volunteer. And you also see a couple blue jays around, and they've been diving in and out. And blue jays, they are part of our cleanup crew. They will find a peanut and dive right forth, pick it up right in front of a bear, and take off again. They're reasonably bold, as are chipmunks and squirrels. There's a small Franklin ground squirrel out in front as well on that log, or inside that log. None of our bears have we ever seen hurt a chipmunk, squirrel, or blue jay, because bears are omnivores. They're not really hunters. They're foragers, and being an omnivore means they don't eat a lot of meat. We do not feed our bears meat, and we do not feed our bears fish. And none of our bears get any meat at all, whether it's chicken, pork, red meat or not. The only bear that gets any fish at all is Ted Bear. Ted Bear is our 19-year-old bear, who is our senior bear, and he's our largest bear as well. He gets a tuna fish right out of a can, and he gets that only to disguise the smell and the taste of some of his arthritic medication. Otherwise, he wouldn't need it either. And people always ask, well, if black bears are omnivores, how do the black bears here, how do our captive bears get their protein? Well, every morning they get a raw egg, and every one of our bears love it, and we give them the raw egg in the shell, right out of the egg carton. They very, very carefully break the egg open, and the eggshell pretty much gets into a cup formation where they are able to lap up the raw egg. Our bears also have an opportunity to get protein from the variety of nuts we give them on a regular basis, so we definitely cover their 10% requirement. We have a lot of things here at the Bear Center to help educate you about black bears, and some of the things I'll just mention. We have 2 great BBC documentary movies that play consistently in our theater, each one an hour long, both filmed here in the Ely area. One talks about trust-based research that our founder, Dr. Lynn Rogers, who has been researching bears now for 49 years. Actually, the BBC crews were out in the woods with Dr. Rogers as he, too, was filming and working with wild bears. Very fascinating 1 hour. And the other is a little different focus. It's called The 3 Little Bears, and that focuses on the lives of 3 cubs and their mother and the trials and tribulations they had their first year of life. It's not an easy life for a cub, but it also gives you some insight into the hard work of a mother with 3 cubs. With these 2.5 natural wooded acres here, it gives you an opportunity to see wild bears in a natural environment to the extent we can do that in a captive environment. We also have the Northwoods Ecology Exhibit Hall, which here just about an hour ago, we released a monarch butterfly who was tagged under the wing. And, well, who knows? It should make it to Mexico here in a while. But that's the last monarch butterfly we had. We got them from the caterpillar, got them at the caterpillar stage, put them on milkweed plants, which is their favorite. They went from a caterpillar to a chrysalis stage, and the last one was released about an hour ago after we tagged him, and it was a male. And if you want to know how to determine a male and a female monarch butterfly, well, head over to the Northwoods Ecology Hall, and we'll be happy to show you how you determine a male versus a female monarch butterfly. And our critter time here at the Bear Center focuses on not only monarch butterflies, but we've got turtles, snakes, frogs, and we have local fish that you might find fishing here in the Ely area. The Ecology Hall focuses on everything else other than a black bear, and black bears have to coexist with many other animals in the woods, and it just gives you a sample of what they do have to live with here in the Ely area. For those of you that are here today at the Bear Center, keep that orange wristband on, and if you head over to the International Wolf Center at the other end of town, you'll get $1 off admission if you just show them your wristband. The International Wolf Center is a fun place to visit. They have a pack of wolves. Now it's a pack of 6 wolves. They just recently introduced 2 Arctic wolf pups into the pack, and that just recently happened here in the last week or 2. And there are folks there to tell you about the wolf pack and wolves in general. Wolves are very different than black bears, wolves being a pack animal, and they're also carnivores, where black bears are reasonably solitary. In fact, male black bears are quite solitary, except during the mating season, the month of June. And mother black bears with their cubs, they spend 18 months with cubs before they're done with them and send them on their way. And at 18 months old, those bears will spend the rest of their lives in the woods alone. If you've enjoyed your time here at the Bear Center, you may want to consider signing up for a membership. We do have a variety of membership levels for you, and just check with our sales associates. Dave and Cheryl are at the front desk there, and they'd be happy to talk to you about memberships and the benefits of a membership. And if you had fun here, maybe get on your laptop or iPad or smartphone and give us your feedback on TripAdvisor. We always read the comments on TripAdvisor as to what you liked and didn't like about your visit here at the Bear Center, because we want to always, our goal is continuous improvement. But last I want to give a little update on the developments of Tasha, our yearling, who was out again this afternoon for the very first time. We just got her to explore the 2.5 acres on Monday, this last Monday, and she was out twice today, once in the morning for about an hour and a half, and again this afternoon for about an hour and a half. And, well, at 3 o'clock, behind-the-scenes tour, she slept through the whole tour. She was sound asleep. I was back there about 3:30, and she was not quite sleeping, but she was, well, shall we say, napping slightly. She kind of, shall we say, pooped out after all of her exploration this morning and playing with Holly Bear, and this afternoon she explored as well. And we found both Holly Bear and Tasha Bear up near Holly's very first dug den. And for those of you that follow the lives of our bears here, you know that Holly Bear, her first full summer here, or first full year here, she dug her own natural den. She didn't like any of the 7 we had. She had to do her own thing. And bears know how to do that. They don't need to be trained. They know how. And she did, on the side of a little hill. Her first full year here, she dug her own den and spent the winter. So we found both of them up in that general area in day beds, about 25, 30 feet apart. And so that's Tasha's update, and our goal is to have Tasha out tomorrow a little bit alone, and then with Holly Bear for those of you that are interested. And we'll give you updates as the days progress. You'll get updates at 11, 1, and the 4 o'clock broadcast. Well, as we wrap up here, I want to thank everybody for coming to the North American Bear Center today. And our last behind the scenes, for those of you that are here at the Bear Center, if you'd like to see Ted Bear and Tasha Bear, Tasha, who I've been talking about here the last few minutes, we will have a behind the scenes at 5 o'clock, and that is our last behind the scenes for the day, and we're open until 6. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll be back on mic tomorrow at 11 a.m. Ely time.